ಪರಂಪರಾಗತವಾಗಿ ಅಡಿಕೆ ತೋಟ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡು ಬಂದು ಅದನ್ನು ನಡೆಸ್ಕೊಂಡು ಬಂದಂಥ ಜನರ ತೋಟ ಪುನಃ ಸಮೃದ್ಧಿ ಆಗಬೇಕೆಂಬ ಚಿಂತನೆಯೊಂದಿಗೆ ಹಿರಿಯ ಸಂಶೋಧಕರು ಮತ್ತು ಯೂನಿವರ್ಸಿಟಿಯ ಪ್ರೊಫೆಸರ್ಗಳು ಬೇರೆ ಬೇರೆ ಸಂಬಂಧಪಟ್ಟ ಇಲಾಖೆಗೆ ಸಂಬಂಧಪಟ್ಟ ಅಧಿಕಾರಿಗಳನ್ನು ಇವತ್ತಿಲ್ಲಿ ಸೇರಿಸಿದ್ದೇವೆ. ಹಾಗೆ ಇವತ್ತು ಕೆಲವೊಂದು ಚರ್ಚೆಗಳು ಮತ್ತು ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಪರಿಹಾರ ಈ ರೀತಿಯಾಗಿ ನಡೆದಿದೆ. ವಿಸ್ತೃತ ಅಧ್ಯಯನ ಮತ್ತು ವರದಿ ಕೇಂದ್ರ ಸರ್ಕಾರಕ್ಕೆ ಮತ್ತು ರಾಜ್ಯ ಸರ್ಕಾರಕ್ಕೆ ಸಲ್ಲಿಸಬೇಕಾದಂಥ ತೀರ್ಮಾನ ಕೈಗೊಂಡಿದ್ದೇವೆ. ಮಣ್ಣಿನ ಪರೀಕ್ಷೆ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಅಗತ್ಯ ಬೇಕಾದ ಪೋಷಕಾಂಶಗಳ ಗುರುತಿಸುವಿಕೆ ಮತ್ತು ಪೂರೈಕೆಗೆ ಹೆಚ್ಚಿನ ಪ್ರಮಾಣದ ಪೊಟ್ಯಾಷ್ ಅಗತ್ಯ ಎಂಬ ಒಂದು ಚಿಂತನೆ ನಡೆದಿದೆ. ತೋಟಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಉಳಿಕೆ ಜಾಗದ ಸದುಪಯೋಗ, ಉಪಮಿಶ್ರ ಬೆಳೆಗಳ ಸಾಧ್ಯತೆ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಚರ್ಚೆ ಆಗಿದೆ. ಅಡಿಕೆ ಪ್ರಾಮಾಣೀಕರಣ ಮತ್ತು ವಿಶೇಷ ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡರ್ಡ್ ಆಫ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಸ್ಪೆಸಿಫಿಕೇಶನ್ ಅಧ್ಯಯನ ಮತ್ತು ಅಕ್ರಮ ಆಮದು ಕಡಿತ ಈ ವಿಚಾರದ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಕೇಂದ್ರ ಸರ್ಕಾರವನ್ನು ಮನವರಿಕೆ ಮಾಡಿಕೊಳ್ಳಲಿದ್ದೇವೆ. ಈ ಹೆಚ್ಚಿಗೆ ಈಗ ಏನಾಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ, ಅಡಿಕೆ ಧಾರಣೆ ಹೆಚ್ಚಿಗೆ ಆದ್ದರಿಂದ ಎಲ್ಲ ಜಾಗದಲ್ಲಿ ಅಡಿಕೆ ತೋಟ ಬೆಳೆಯ ವಿಸ್ತರಣೆ ಹೆಚ್ಚಾಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ. ಇದರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಒಂದು ಚಿಂತನೆ ಆಗಬೇಕಿದೆ. ಅದನ್ನು ಸಹ ಮುಂದಿನ ದಿನಗಳು ತಗೊಳ್ಳಿಕ್ಕೆ ನಾವು ಇಚ್ಛೆಪಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೇವೆ. ಅಡಿಕೆ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ಸರ್ ಕಾರಕ ಅಲ್ಲ ಅಂತ 2016ರಲ್ಲಿ ಅಮೇರಿಕದ ಎಮರಿ ಯೂನಿವರ್ಸಿಟಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಅಟ್ಲಾಂಟಾ ಇದರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಒಂದು ಯೂನಿವರ್ಸಿಟಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಸಂಶೋಧನೆ ನಡೆದಿದೆ. ಅದರ ವರದಿಯನ್ನು ತಗೊಂಡು ನಾವು ಮುಂದೆ ಸುಪ್ರೀಂ ಕೋರ್ಟಿಗೆ ಮತ್ತು ಕೇಂದ್ರ ಸರ್ಕಾರಕ್ಕೆ ಇದರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ತಿಳುವಳಿಕೆ ಕೊಡಿಸುವ ಪ್ರಯತ್ನ ನಾವು ಮಾಡಲಿಕ್ಕಿದ್ದೇವೆ. ಮತ್ತು ಅಡಿಕೆ ಹಾನಿಕರ ಅಲ್ಲ, ಅಡಿಕೆ ಆಯುರ್ವೇದ ಔಷಧಿಗಳ ಬಳಕೆ ಮತ್ತು ತಾವೆಲ್ಲ ಈಗ ಕೇಳಿದ್ದೀರಿ, ನಮ್ಮ ಹೆಗ್ಡೆಯವರ ಶಿಷ್ಯರು ನ್ಯಾನೋ ಟೆಕ್ನಾಲಜಿ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಸವಿಸ್ತಾರವಾಗಿ ಹೇಳುವಾಗ ತಾವು ಪತ್ರಕರ್ತರು ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ಇಲ್ಲಿದ್ದೀರಿ. ಅದರ ಉಪಯೋಗ ಬಹುಶಃ ಮುಂದಿನ ದಿನಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಅಡಿಕೆ ಧಾರಣೆ ಇರಬೇಕು. ಅಡಿಕೆ ರೈತರಿಗೆ ಸಂತೋಷ ಕೊಡುವಂಥ ವ್ಯವಸ್ಥೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಹೆಗ್ಡೆಯವರ ಮುಖಾಂತರ ನಾವು ತಗೊಂಡು ಹೋಗಲಿಕ್ಕಿದ್ದೇವೆ. ಇವರ ಏನು ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪ್ಲನೇಷನ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಅದರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ನಮ್ಮ MD ಅವರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಅವರ ಮಾತುಕತೆ ಆಡಲಿಕ್ಕಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಮುಂದಿನ ದಿನಗಳಲ್ಲಿ. ಎಲ್ಲ ವಿಚಾರ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದನ್ನು ಮುಂದೆ ಗಟ್ಟಿಯಾಗಿ ನಮ್ಮ MD ಅವರು ಮಾತಾಡಲಿಕ್ಕಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಸರಿ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ.
ಎಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ನಮಸ್ಕಾರ. ಮಗದೊಮ್ಮೆ ಕ್ಯಾಂಪ್ಕೋ ಲಿಮಿಟೆಡ್ ಮಂಗಳೂರು ಇದರ ಪರವಾಗಿ ಎಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಸೇರಿರತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಎಲ್ಲ ಪತ್ರಕರ್ತರನ್ನು ಸ್ವಾಗತ ಮಾಡುತ್ತಾ, ಇವತ್ತು ಬೆಳಗ್ಗೆಯಿಂದ ನಾವು ಈ ಅಡಿಕೆ ಕೃಷಿಗೆ ಸಂಬಂಧಪಟ್ಟಂತೆ ಒಂದು ತುಂಬ ದೊಡ್ಡ ಸಮಸ್ಯೆ ಆದ ಹಳದಿ ರೋಗ, ಇದರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಒಂದು ವಿಚಾರ ಸಂಕಿರಣವನ್ನು ಏರ್ಪಡಿಸಿದ್ವಿ. ಕಳೆದ ತಿಂಗಳು ಸುಳ್ಯದಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವೊಂದು ಪೂರ್ವಭಾವಿಯಾಗಿ ಒಂದು ಸಂವಾದ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮವನ್ನು ಕೃಷಿಕರೊಟ್ಟಿಗೆ ನಡೆಸಿಕೊಂಡು ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಆದ ಹಾನಿಗಳನ್ನು ನೋಡಿ ಇದಕ್ಕೊಂದು ಪರಿಹಾರವನ್ನು ಕಂಡುಕೊಳ್ಳಲೇಬೇಕು ಎಂಬ ಒಂದು ನಿಟ್ಟಿನಲ್ಲಿ ಚಿಂತನೆ ಮಾಡಿ ಆಡಳಿತ ಮಂಡಳಿಯ ಒಂದಿಗೆ ಇದನ್ನು ಡಿಸ್ಕಸ್ ಮಾಡಿ ದೇಶದ ಅತ್ಯುನ್ನತ ವಿಶ್ವವಿದ್ಯಾನಿಲಯ ರಿಸರ್ಚ್ ಸೆಂಟರ್ಗಳ ಸೈಂಟಿಸ್ಟ್ಗಳಿಗೆ ಕೂತು ಒಂದು ಪರಿಹಾರದ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಸಮಾಲೋಚನೆ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ತೀರ್ಮಾನಗೊಂಡು ಇವತ್ತಿಲ್ಲಿ ಬೆಳಗ್ಗೆಯಿಂದ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ವಿ. ಅದಕ್ಕಿಂತ ಮಿಗಿಲಾಗಿ ಅಡಿಕೆ ಕೃಷಿ ಮುಂದೆ ಸಾಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ. ಹೆಚ್ಚಿನ ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ ಬೆಳೆ ಬೆಳೀತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. ಆವಾಗ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಒಂದು ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ ಅಡಿಷನ್ ಅಥವಾ ಆಲ್ಟರ್ನೇಟ್ ಯೂಸ್ನ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಕೂಡ ಗಮನ ಕೊಡಬೇಕಾದ ಒಂದು ಸಂಗತಿ ಇದೆ. ಅದು ನಮ್ಮ ಕರ್ತವ್ಯ. ಆ ನಿಟ್ಟಿನಲ್ಲಿ ಕೂಡ ನಾವು ಒಂದು ವಿಚಾರಗಳನ್ನು ಅದರ ಮೆಡಿಸಿನಲ್ ಪ್ರಾಪರ್ಟಿ ಅಥವಾ ಆಹಾರಕ್ಕೆ ಸಂಬಂಧಪಟ್ಟಂತೆ ಅದರ ಉಪಯೋಗ ನಿಮಗೆ ಒಂದಾಗಿ ಅಥವಾ ಬೇರೆ ಕಮರ್ಷಿಯಲ್ ಯೂಸಸ್ ನ್ಯಾನೋ ಟೆಕ್ನಾಲಜಿ ಮುಖಾಂತರ ಏನಾದರೂ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದಾ ಎಂಬುದರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಕೂಡ ಬಹಳಷ್ಟು ಚರ್ಚೆ ಆಗಿದೆ. ಮುಂದಿನ ದಿನಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಇದನ್ನು ಕಾರ್ಯರೂಪಕ್ಕೆ ತರುವಲ್ಲಿ ಕ್ಯಾಂಪ್ಕೋ ಸಂಸ್ಥೆ ಕೃಷಿಕರೊಟ್ಟಿಗೆ ಕೂಡಿಕೊಂಡು ಸದಾ ಇದೆ ಅಂತ ಈ ಸಂದರ್ಭದಲ್ಲಿ ತಿಳಿಸಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಇಚ್ಛೆಪಡ್ತೇನೆ. ಇವತ್ತಿನ ಡಿಸ್ಕಷನ್ನ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಸೈಂಟಿಫಿಕ್ ಆಗಿ ಡಾಕ್ಟರ್ ಚೌಡಪ್ಪರವರು ತಮ್ಮ ಅನಿಸಿಕೆಗಳನ್ನು ಹಂಚಿಕೊಳ್ಬೇಕಾಗಿ ಕೇಳಿಕೊಳ್ತೇನೆ.
So good afternoon everybody. It is a pleasure to be with you, media friends, and after a long time today I am so happy that I could able to interact with media friends which I had a close contact with them last many years. When I left the CBCRL also, some of my friends in the press media, they highlighted like anything. See, I would like to mention very clearly that today the Arakanate area is coming to around 7 lakh hectares, and the yield production is coming to 13 lakh tons. So the biggest challenge for Arakanate, despite it does not have export potential, despite only local consumption is there, but the highest income is coming from Arakanate only. No other crop gives this much income as Arakanate gives. During Corona period also, all agricultural, industrial activities were affected, but not the Arakanate. Arakanate prices have gone up. The Corona, nothing in the Arakanate. So what we'd like to mention very clearly here is that, so most of the Arakanate growers are small, marginal and middle farmers. So we don't find a rich farmers in the Arakanate. Around 20 to 30 million people are depending upon the Arakanate for livelihood. If something happens to the Arakanate, the population of 30 million people will be tripled. So there is actually a misconception that Arakanate has got some sort of cancer activity. This is all actually wrong, and they don't have the scientific evidence anywhere. But the results clearly shows that since from the ancient Vedas to modern science, Arakanate is actually highly beneficial to health. All of us know Tambula. Tambula is in Indian culture, Indian heritage. It is a part of the life. The Tambula was coming over the ages, and the people lived very happily, and that is the beauty of Arakanate. So all the whatever the ill-conceived scientific data they project is all wrong. Arakanate is very good for health. It never got any cancer and all those things. And the camp and CBCRI, all of us joined together. That we know very well there is some sort of misconception and some vested interest. While some cases in the Supreme Court, we all joined together and tried to repel this one, and we gave the sufficient scientific data to the government of India also to say that Arakanate is good for health. This is the very important. And beside this, we would like to mention that to safeguard the Arakanate farmers, Arakanate cultivation, the government of Karnataka is appointed a task force. I think all of us know very well the task force. Honorable Member of Legislative Assembly, Arakanate Janendra is President, and the technical director there. So we want to protect the Arakanate. So today the meeting was called specifically to address the two issues. The camp has taken the lead to address the two issues. The one is actually yellow leaf disease, which is very serious problem, particularly high rainfall areas and Koppasundari in Chikmagalur district and Sulya Taluka of South Kannada district. There's some portions here and there, Shivamogga also, not a big area, here and there. So the camp is very much concerned how to resolve this issue for making a livelihood sector to the farmers. So today we had the meeting and we discussed thoroughly, because we have the two strategies. One is the short-term strategy, other is the long-term strategy. So we wanted actually empower the farmers who are in distress in the wild affected areas, and we wanted to increase the livelihood security, and we wanted actually empower them with the economic status. That's how this meeting has been held. So we all of us know very well, Arakanate yellow leaf disease is caused by a sub-microscopic organism called a phytoplasma. It is not it is just nothing but a cell wall-less bacteria. You know bacteria very well, all of you. Bacteria, virus. So bacteria, when remove the cell wall, it becomes a phytoplasma. So phytoplasma do not have the control measures. Not only India, global-wide, anywhere in the globe, we don't have any control measures for managing the phytoplasma diseases. chemical control. But we can manage the yellow leaf disease successfully. See what we have thought, short-term strategy. Already we have wherever the diseases are there, we want to develop already we discussed this morning, we came out a package which involves that is a plastic, biodegradable plastic mulching. Biodegradable plastic mulching. So we are not using the plastic because Government of India has problems in promoting the plastic. So we are very careful about using plastic also. We are going to use the biodegradable plastic mulching, which will be around about 100 microns, which no way affect the environment. So we are very clear. So what we do, because there are two issues in wildly affected areas. The one is actually because of heavy rainfall, there is high content of moisture in the soil, one thing. And the second is because of high content of moisture, the root regeneration occurs, root rotting is there, then finally yellowing symptoms are there. So when I joined the CPCR in 2014, and we appointed the special Aracanate group to work on the yellow leaf disease. We took a decision in 2014 that let us start a small trials using the plastic mulching in the Aracanate gardens, whether you can reduce the soil moisture so that you can improve the yield. So last 5 years data clearly shows that the CPCRA data as well as the University of Agricultural Sciences Shivamogga, both universities data very clearly shows that there is improvement of the farms by covering with a plastic mulching before the monsoon. Clear improvement, the disease suppressing, at the same time yield also increasing. So now what we are doing, we are coupling some 2-3 ingredients. What we do here, we wanted actually, besides yellow leaf disease, we have one more issue, particularly in Shivamogga district, Pappas Ringeri, the root grubs. Root grubs also looks symptoms similar to the wild. So we would like to manage both. First, actually, we are taking the 3-4 components. One is actually before monsoon, plastic mulching, biodegradable plastic mulching. We will cover it. When you go for a biodegradable plastic mulching sheet, there are some benefits. One is actually it reduces the soil moisture even during heavy rainfall, one aspect. The second, when before pre-monsoon, the white grubs from the soil they emerge, come out, and they mate outside. Female and male they mate outside. After mating, the females will go to the once again soil to lay eggs. Okay. When you covering plastic mulching, so we are arresting the females to go into soil. So that's why we are actually managing the root grubs very effectively. And plus wildly, this is one thing. Besides this, we wanted to improve the health of the palm. For that, we are going to have a biofertilizers and the biological agents like trichoderma, bacillus and the pseudomonas. They have the capability to enhance the plant growth. At the same time, they have the capability to reduce the root rot also. So this is one thing. And third thing, we also developed wherever some places we have higher organic content in their soil that we want to reduce it. Some places potassium deficiency is there. Some places micronutrient deficiency is there. So we are combining all that together. Plastic mulching coupled with the application of the biofertilizers, application of the bioagents, then spraying of micronutrients. This completely developed a package. So we are going to demonstrate different places in farmers field. Whatever the data we got, we already got convinced. So based upon this data, we are going to develop some sort of a package and implement in the farmers field in Shivamogga district and South Kannada district, but still here. So for this we need some sort of money, and so we are the members requesting the alternate task force, to which I am also member, and we have the members of Campus chair president is the member, and Campus president is the member, and the TSS, all the members are there. So all are having just a common interest in the arachnids. So we all joined together and putting a request before the task force committee that task force committee can able to help us in resolving this issue. But also we are taking up all the issues. So now we want to compliment the camp particularly because this is very same old age problem. But fortunately the camp took very seriously now. Seriously, and the camp wanted to see that the farmers' income should not be affected, and the farmers' livelihood would be secured. So with this we are going together, and we hope during the monsoon time the demonstration will be laid out, and in coming days the wildly affected farmers may be cheerful. This is one thing, and we want to mention a few things. We have taken the earlier discussions also. We never had a standards for the arachnids. We never had a standards for arachnids. During those days, what happened? If you look at the prices have gone today, arachnid prices have gone higher because Camco and CBCRA and others all jointly together took some initiatives. We never had standards for arachnid. The present MD who is sitting right now here, the present MD was the manager at the time. He took a lot of interest those days, and we sat together in the same hall only, prepared a complete standards. What should be arachnid standards? And they went to Delhi, presented before the Bureau of Indian Standards, BIS, and that they got it approved. When they got it approved, the BIS standards are there for arachnid. When they got it approved, then Government of India put a condition that whichever the arachnid we are importing to India from other countries, they should follow the standard. That's how the arachnid imports came down. Imports came down, and the illegal imports were there Assam, from other Bangladesh, other places. They put a, because all arachnid growers, particularly Camco and others, they met the minister there many times and requested them, and they put it strict vigilance. The import of arachnid also curbed. So because of standards of arachnid, imports curbing, both coupled to raise the arachnid prices today. This is the, even corona time also, arachnid prices never fall down because of the two measures. And we never had even arachnid supporting prices earlier. So we only took the initiative of that also now. It is coming under MSP. So with this, I think we have covered most of the things. And one more thing we are doing, this is short-term strategy to immediately to enhance the farmers' income, and we want to go for long-term strategies also. So in case the wild affected areas, the arachnid use are not sustainable, we wanted to go for a intercrops or alternative crops also we are planning. So there are a many number of fruit crops are there. For example, the upcoming fruit crops, which is successfully cultivated in high rainfall areas, and at Chauta also, he successfully cultivated rambutan. You know, all of you know very well, and he also successfully cultivated avocado also. So the crop fruit crops like avocado, rambutan, mangosteen, dragon fruit, this all can go as intercrops in the irrigation agriculture. Okay. In case something happens, like there is some issue of the spacing, but we can sort it out, that issues also. So actually we need some more spacing. When you go for intercrops, more spacing required, because these are traditionally planted, they never followed the spacing. Despite that, we can try to improve, incorporate this crop, and wherever there are serious issues are there, oil palm also another important crop for the alternative to arachnid. So these are the strategies. So for example, in the case of wildly infected arachnid worm is there, you can put the dragon fruit to the arachnid only. You can try to dragon to the arachnid. So they can get the yield. Along with the arachnid, they can get yield to the dragon fruit also. The same thing rambutan also does very well. And these all the crops we are also promoting in long-term strategy, short-term and long-term. And we are seeking the help from the Directorate of Dr. Gobi Jain sitting here, and we should thankful to him whenever you call him, you come immediately to here. And he is nothing but a son-in-law of Karnataka, I can say. So he comes whenever he wanted. So we requested him. DS is the chairperson. In case, because government of India is not promoting the Arcanet expansion, you know very well. They are not promoting. But they have the provision to give to support as Arcanet based crops. That is they can support. They have the provision. And even YLD, for example, management, they have the provision. So we are requesting actually DSC also to help extend some sort of financial support, whatever to be. And we are trying to take help from the Arcanet task force. And the Department of Agriculture also, they have the schemes and the MIDA. All these clubs together and under the leadership of the JAMCO, I think in the coming days, the YLD maybe have deliberations. You know all of them very well. The nanotechnology is very well. So there are some ethical issues are there because they are less than 100 nanometers. So nanoparticles is going to have a miracles in the communication. So every sphere of life, the nanoparticles are adding the benefit to the society. So there are many sources of the nanoparticles from different sources, basically biomasses. And Dr. Hegde from BMS to Technology, and he is very keen to develop a nanoparticles from Arcanet. So the way he presented, if the same thing will go up because nanotubes you are telling, nanocarbon is telling, and nano cosmetics and everything, so many nanos. If this all the things are happen, whatever the Arcanet we have today may not be sufficient for nano. So now entire India should be converted to the Arcanet. If this project will move forward, I think whole India from year to after Vasco will go for only Arcanet only, and that kind of thing is protected. See, even 1% from that also will happen. It's a big boost up for the Arcanet. And besides this, Arcanet actually has got a lot of additional benefits are there that we do not able to explore. See, simple thing I tell you, in China, they are making a chewing for Arcanet to ask. They are doing it. But similar way, and we are also trying using the byproducts, toothpaste, and today they may not be commercial, the day may come, all may become a commercial only. That also we are planning to do. And today we have a good number of scientists for this, participated here, and the scientists from the CPCR team, scientists from the United States, all the names now, big list is there. The scientists from the CPCR, scientists from the University of Agriculture, Shimoga, and scientists from the Brahmabad and IIHR, many came, and the camp since morning president as well as the MD is sitting here, and lot of directors. So all directors sitting here, they are highly enthusiastic directors. They are not passive directors. They are highly active directors. They are involved this morning. They are also here. Decided that Dr. Karna Sagar and Mrs. Karna Sagar, Indrani Karna Sagar, they were also contributed a lot for this meeting. So this is not a one-man, this is a giant effort. For anything we want to do, jointly, all of us jointly putting together, doing everything. So we are highly grateful to the best group came over here. How many questions? Please ask questions.
What will be the lifespan of a heated wild affected power? What will be the lifespan of treated wildly affected power? You mentioned all this mulching and application of biofertilizers. What will be the has the experiment been done on that, or because I think if I am not wrong, CPCRI was doing some research in garage near Sampali to some wild affected farms. Is there any outcome?
The CPCRI has been doing experiments last many years. They are doing experiments in Papa Sungari plus here also. But most of the experiments actually we cannot give it to the farmer level. They are not successful. But recent experiment in petrol, this plastic machine, and we got a little bit positive. So the experiment was started in 2015 and 2020 we got it. 5 years. 5 years. So 5 years we got a substantial evidence. So see, now we only have the few places. When we have this kind of substantial evidence, now we are going in bigger way, many places. So now it is possible.
So you mean to say they can live long till the normal.
No, this is what will happen. I told you this is not control. This is management only. As long as you are managing this one, the farm can live actually naturally up to 60 years. Yeah,
It can.
It can. But now we cannot assume, we have hope. But what will happen? This is not a one-time control measure. This is management strategy. Every year the farmer is supposed to implement whatever the strategies we are mentioning, and we are hopeful that tree life can be extended normally as the healthy form lives. That is what we are contemplating.
ಈಗ ಅರೆಕಮೆಂಟ್ ಟಾಸ್ಕ್ ಫೋರ್ಸ್ ಇಂದ ನೀವು ಏನೋ ಕೇಳ್ತಾರೆ ಏನು ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ
Arakanite task force actually Government of Karnataka, Honorable Chief Minister of Government of Karnataka actually sanctioned this Arakanite task force.
ಯು ಟೋಲ್ಡ್
I am coming to the point. Because the Arakanite task force objective is that to develop the overall scenario of Arakanite. Okay, that is this one. And it has given a special budget of separate budget. So now in this case, what we are expecting the Arakanite task force here, because when you ask the farmer to go for plastic mulching, there is cost involved. See, 1 acre if you want to put a plastic mulch, it may require around 30,000 rupees amount is required. If the small farmers who have got less than half acre, 1 acre, they may not be able to offer it. Okay, such cases we are requesting the Arakanite task force. Is it possible to extend some sort of financial support for them? That is one thing. Second thing, we are also requesting the Directorate of Agriculture and Rural Development. They cannot give the money for Arakanite expansion. The government is against for Arakanite expansion, but they can give the money for technology transfer. Okay, they can give the money for actually technology demonstrations. So we are tapping both places. He is sitting here only, and he also got convinced that it is required. Any other questions?
So now, according to you, what is the total area of YLD affected fields in Karnataka? And
5 years back, the actual assessment was done around 9,000, 10,000 hectares.
See now what happened? Latest figures. Latest figures. You know statistics very well. Statistics, there will be variation within. All of us know very well. So even we have done the CPSR also. Now latest figures also. YL is in the 5 districts basically. The one is actually South Canara, and to some extent we have the Kodagu also, and Chikmagaluru we have, and Shivamogga. Okay. And certain extent actually these are the districts, North Canara. These are the districts actually YLD is there because it is not sporadic. But major actually YLD only 2 districts only. Though this place are a little bit here and there, 2 districts only major. Chikmagaluru and South Canara is major. Here also not entire district. In South Canara district only Sulia and Sampa they have Medicare. So in the case of Chikmagaluru we have the Kopas again.
so because
And actually we estimated, see, we don't have the exact figures, it is only estimations are telling. Around 14,000 hectares of plants are, 14,000 hectares where is affected by 14,000 hectares. It is quite big area. This is estimates only, because we are making very clearly, because we have not gone to the garden survey.
because some farmers are saying that now, especially after food it is gradually spreading to Puttur areas and things like that.
See what happened, I tell you, the YLD is spreading is very slow. I tell you. Because this is reported 1965 in Karnataka, but fortunately the spread is very slow. It's not moving. Otherwise, by this time, normal disease, for example, take potato late bed. Potato late bed disease comes, within a matter of 3 days, entire potato will be washed out. In the 1840, you might have heard the European famine. 1840, when potato late bed came, thousands of acres completely devastated in the island. So because of this, and 1.5 million people died out of starvation, and many people migrated. So compared to the even India also, 2007 and 8, we had a severe epidemic of late bed in Assam district. We have 17,600 acres of potato in Assam, entire devastated. So compared to those diseases, but we are fortunate, Argonaut growers are very fortunate because Argonaut is a sacred form.
Considering the slow,
Very slow.
slow spread of this disease, do you think your short-term strategy will help contain the
Definitely will help. Because when we are targeting particularly the water areas where the disease is low, definitely we will be able to contain.
This oil from free from IIT. This oil from free from IIT.
See, I tell you, actually this phytoplasma disease has been reported in all farms. In the case of coconut, we have the root in Kerala, that is severe disease. All the 14 districts of Kerala, except Kasaragod, Kannur, remaining districts we have root disease. Okay, one thing. The second thing actually, also we have a phytoplasma disease called spear rat. Okay, when you go to the Sulia, there are places up there, we have the oil palm, we have the coconut there, and we have the Aragonite also, it's wild. Both are standing in the same button, but we never see the disease on the coconut and oil palm. So it is restricted only Aragonite. So planting oil palm is safe, planting coconut is safe.
Totally free from IIT.
Total 100% free. Can't be taken care of. Why,
Nowhere it is not affected anywhere in India. Oil palm.
But nowhere it is affected. Very clear. I tell you, why, here I am telling to you.
You mean to say YLD is specific to only to Aragonite?
Only Aragonite. Because there was experiment also earlier. I told you, we have the YLD in Aragonite, we have the footprint in the coconut, and we have the spear rat complex by phytoplasma in oil palm. That is very limited, not good. But they try to transmit vice versa, all three. But YLD never gone to the other form. The same thing in Jamaica also. Jamaica, if you look at, we have the lethal yellowing of coconut. 1974, in Jamaica, they reported a lethal yellowing of coconut. 74. Within a matter of 1 year, the entire coconuts have been toppled. Entire coconuts. They become just a credible poles. Okay. There they have the other palms are there, oil palm are there. There are other palms are there. They never affected. And here actually we are trying the alternate crop also. Plus we are trying to go for breeding program.
We can reduce YLD species. Though there is no concrete chemical control measure against this disease. The Vice Chancellor of UAS Shivamogga, he also participated through media, through TV, and he briefed us on the program on evolution they are doing in their universities and some programs through task force that also he has discussed. That humanitarian we are now almost for each and every meeting whenever requesting he will be here and helping us with lot of suggestions. He gave very valuable suggestions also. We thank him for his